All right. So yeah, we're gonna jump right into this because it's just I think it's ridiculous. And but I also think it's uh I'll just say this. I read the first paragraph before the stream, like first couple paragraphs, and was like, oh, I need to stop this. So and just save my actual reaction for the stream. I have not followed any of this stuff last night. You're catching me watching this and checking all this stuff out in the morning. I just played some Eve yesterday and took a little break from Star Citizen. I did all of the phase ones of Fight for Pyro on every single faction, and it was kind of painful, and I needed a break yesterday. So I just took a break from doing anything, and here we are. I wake up to what is kind of a big deal. All right. So this is from Xylo, posted on Spectrum, Alpha 4.0, current issues and updates. Sounds kind of nothing crazy to start, right? But it actually is kind of a big deal about something, I guess. But yeah, we wanted to take a moment to update you on the current experience and where our focus is as we work towards improving 4.0.1 and beyond. First and foremost, who do they think reads Spectrum? Do you think people that aren't playing the game read Spectrum? Everyone knows what the current issues are because they experience them every day and have told you about them forever. But okay. I need to relax. As we mentioned in the letter from the chairman in December, our top priority is playability. Playability, ensuring that your experience in the verse is as smooth and enjoyable as possible. Yeah, okay. That means dedicating all our resources, all of them, by the way, to improving stability, addressing critical issues, and delivering meaningful quality of life updates. Okay. With that in mind, we've made the decision to forego the Red Festival free fly. This reinforces what we said in December. Star Citizen needs work, and it needs to work well. Right now, our focus is on continued hotfixes and subsequent patches to bring the experience to a much better place. So, oh my God, they did it, guys. They did it. To some extent, they did. This is a huge deal. Kind of. It's a big deal. But how dumb do they think we are? Do we have extremely bad memories? What if our memory went all the way back to Tuesday? It's Saturday. It's not that far away. Tuesday, they released 4.0.1 when we told them how bad it was, when we pointed out that all of their possible fixes were not fixes, that the issues on Monarch still existed, the freight terminals, the anything around transit has been a problem. Let's take our memories all the way back to before 4.0 even released. Without the transit refactor, I was screaming from the rooftops, don't do this. Don't do this. Without the transit refactor, what are we going to do? Our game is going to be a problem. It's not going to work. Right? So, with all that in mind, they have never, ever stopped a free fly. If this was 1 year ago, if this was 2 years ago, would this have ever happened? Of course not. So we do have to recognize that, all these things, the Rich Tyrer era, the letter from the chairman, a lot of CIG employees either leaving or being let go, that something is changing or has changed ever so slightly internally. Ever so slightly. But again, let's go all the way back to Tuesday. Because if it was a huge change and everything actually changed, talk is cheap. I believe it when I see it. You're seeing it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You are seeing it. You're just seeing not enough of it, right? Removing the free fly is the absolute bare minimum of showing that they want to change. But releasing 4.0.1, releasing a ship without putting it in the PTU, doing the event like Fight for Pyro or whatever it's called, right? These are all things that they should not be doing. And that are all really, really bad. Right? Those things also need to change. But that doesn't mean that we shouldn't give a thumbs up for doing the right thing for the free fly. Thank you. Thumbs up. Good job. But I will not forget 4.0.1 going live on Tuesday when it shouldn't have. Selling a ship without putting it on the PTU. And doing all these events. And releasing 4.0 without a transit refactor or anything, right? So let's not forget any of that. Good start. But it's more like, you know, ooh, I got slapped on the wrist by our community, and here's what we can do after we made all these massive mistakes, right? So it's a little bit weird, but it shows that their behavior might be changing a little bit, but it has to change a lot for a lot of people, right? While there's no single patch that will instantly get us to where we want to be, 4.0.1 was an important first step. It included a massive list of fixes, which most of them weren't even fixes. Like, these are the things that we're talking about here. They keep talking about this massive list of fixes. Does anyone see it? Because they didn't even list them in the patch notes. Because if they did, like, this is, yeah, he's doubling and tripling down. This is like pirate software level stuff. The massive list of fixes that were not fixed. Right? Man, that one annoys me because that's the one that I've been calling out for a couple of weeks now that really, really bothers me. Some of the nastier issues impacting your experience remain. Below, you'll find a list of some of our top priority issues currently being worked on. This isn't an exhaustive list. Many other issues are being tackled in parallel, but we want to be transparent about where our efforts are focused in the short term. We'll continue to keep you updated through patch notes and additional update posts like this one as we have more to share. Overarching topics, the elevator in the room. We've rolled out a number of transit fixes. However, elevators and occasionally trams remain a major pain point in the overall experience. These issues can trap players in locations, preventing basic access to the game, which is why they remain one of our highest priorities in every single patch cycle. The team has a bright spotlight on these issues right now and is actively working towards more reliable fixes for this. All right. You should have never went. This shouldn't even be an issue, but it is because of bad decisions made in the past. Are they changing and actually making these fixes? I hope. This is one of the things, and same with the free fly, where you don't want to look back at the past and blame them for what they did in the past for what they're trying to change in the present, but it's really hard not to, right? It's really hard not to. Character stowing and repair. We recently deployed a fix for the most severe character stowing issue. People are still having it, right? And lock players out of the game. However, players still frequently get stuck in specific shards, which exacerbates other issues, especially since logging out and back in is a common workaround for various bugs. Additionally, character repair does not consistently resolve stowing problems. We're actively investigating this, right? Like, another one that we pointed out, this is a problem in the PTU. This is a problem in live. It's still happening in the PTU. Bam, ship sale, ship it to live, folks, ship it to live. Doesn't matter. Our experience still doesn't matter to you, and we know it, all right? Hangar woes. Since the implementation, or at least your actions are showing that they don't matter. Words in yellow text with a blue background are not as relevant as your actions. Removing the free fly is a positive action. But there were about 10 that needed to happen for this patch to go well. And one of them would be, this patch wouldn't even be released yet, right? But this is where we are, and they're trying to make changes. I'm trying to be balanced here if I can, but it's hard. It's really hard on this. Hanger woes. Since the implementation of instance hangers, there have been a variety of problems with the reliability and playability of this system. When did these release? When did these release? Well, I agree the fixes have not stuck. Wait, they actually did list them? Lower on... Oh, okay. Not fixed. 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 Well, maybe fixed. Not fixed. No, fixed. Not fixed. Maybe. Not fixed. Because they're not even on the UI. Maybe fixed. Definitely fixed. Literally happened to me while salvaging in the misfortune. Not fixed. Like, again, they're calling things fixed that aren't fixed. So I didn't know they listed them though. So thank you, Nerf. That's just letting me know that I missed that one. All right. So hanger woes. From hanger lifts that clip damaged player ships to not storing ships properly after arrival, doors not opening and closing correctly, losing your personal hanger completely and overlapping with other players both physically and audibly. So the thing that bothers me here is there was like, when that initial patch went out, when hangers came out, there was a fix nearly every day, right? Hot fixing, PTUs, this, that, the other thing. It was constant trying to fix it. And then it just stopped. But you're telling me it's your top priority. If it was your top priority, I've seen very, very few fixes put into the PTUs to try to fix hangers. Very few. The only ones that I have seen are the audible changes. That's it. Load times and initial load. Huge issue we've been calling out for a while. Clearly didn't matter to push out 4.0.0 or .1. Mission issues. Let's go back to December with our memory. Let's release 4.0 regardless if it's ready or not. For optics. For making money. Right? It's so hard to feel like something is changing. The only way for me to feel like something is changing is for them to actually change. Canceling the free fly is actual change. But there needs to be a lot more. The mission system underwent a refactor with 4.0, temporarily reducing a number of available missions. Yeah, a number, like almost all of them. However, we're still seeing familiar issues. I wonder why. Do you think it's because the team was focused on fight for pyro that nobody needs to be doing right now? Right? Maybe. AI not spawning at mission locations. I've actually had a decent time with that one. Mission sharing and reputation inconsistencies. Concerns about time versus reward balance, especially for group play. Are people complaining that they're not making enough money? Because it was the other way around this time, right? Quantum travel and star map. I can point out a million 2023 things that were supposed to be in the star map that are not. Quantum travel continues to experience frequent disruptions, including repeated starts and stops, forcing players to retry jumps multiple times, alongside an ongoing issue where fuel states do not always sync properly between server meshes. These are areas we're actively investigating to reduce frustration and improve reliability. That one, I don't know about you guys, I am totally fine for that one. I'm totally fine with that one. That's one of these, we put in 4.0, there's going to be some bugs, but they all have workarounds. So I got to stop and start a few times. Okay, get it when you get it. I think that there were more pressing issues than that one. If your fuel state doesn't sync and you go back to having none, turn around and fly backwards over the server line. It'll fix itself. Unless you had absolutely zero fuel and try not to ever have so low fuel that you can't fly anywhere, you'll be able to fix that one. It's a pain, but doable. LTP. This is not a new thing. LTP has been a problem since LTP existed. Saying the system has become unreliable. When was it reliable? It has never been reliable. With frequent reports of lost items, ships, and money, I think that this lack of attention to detail on this one bothers me a little bit. With you're not just losing items and ships, you're losing contested zone rewards. You're losing contested zone items. The major feature of the patch. Did you test? Did you test at all? No, people didn't lose. Some people lost everything from CZs. Some people kept some. It is unreliable as stated. But that's one of the things. It's like, did you test? Because this seemed like an oversight to me. Since this pertains to progression and respecting player time, it's a critical issue and top priority. Yep. Okay, we'll see. I do not want to come back to this post 3, 6, 12 months from now and still see these issues. But I have a really bad feeling that we will. Right? Additional fixes. As mentioned above, this is not an exhaustive list. Many other bugs are being addressed and investigated in parallel. A few examples include, just going back to the 100 fixes thing, they actually think those are fixed if they posted them, right? They believe those are fixed. But it becomes our job to go down a list of 100 bugs and tell you that they're not? Does anybody test at that company? Is the part that I lose my mind about. We are continuously their free QA, but we work as if we're not being paid because the issue council's a mess. It's mostly just used for people to try to game the system and get chips, I think, at this point. And it's not good. Not good. That is not a good situation. But apparently, the minables loading in is fixed as of yesterday. We'll see. And vulnerable actors, I have not seen much of this, but I can tell you that this is one that QA was working on really hard and tried to nail down, but didn't get. What I'm talking about is this miscommunication between a fix being put in from a developer and that fix actually being tested. Not good. Freight elevators at outposts becoming stuck or confirmed to be fixed, right? Freight elevators at outposts becoming stuck and impeding missions. How about at CZs? They're like never working. Collision issues where players may clip through a ship, floor, etc. Power allocation, I think they got this one. Inability to equip some components discovered in contested zones, and more. The issue council and you. Oh, yeah, our issue council reports are really helping, even though 90% of the ones that I look for are marked as duplicate or archived or are marked as fixed when they're not. Yeah, keep going. Keep doing a good job with your issue council. That one's a rough one. And then, what is this? Oh, no, I did hear about this. Further to this, next Thursday, February 6th, on a special 2-hour SCL. Is Thursday, February 6th? It is. So what that tells you is that still the first week in February, there's no ISCs yet. Or they pushed back an ISC to do this. Right? Jared Huckabee will be joined by CTO Benoit Beauchezor to go deeper into these issues covered above, what's causing them, what's been done, and how our feature and stability plans for 2025 will build over the year to restore functionality and quality of life to the persistent universe that we all want. ISC was Thursday, unless you're Australian. ISC was Thursday, I think. I actually don't know. I think ISC was Friday for Australians. So read the comments. This week's ISC topic. I don't care. Just tell me what it is. They're saying Thursday they're doing SCL. That doesn't matter as much. It's 2 hours with Benoit. That's good. But it's going to be a lot of talk, and it's one of those things where we want to see action. The thing about Benoit is the last time he was on camera, it was a lot of talk. And then after the talk did come action. And I think Benoit is one of the most trusted people in leadership at the company. When he speaks, people tend to listen, and what he speaks tends to become a reality. Tends to. I don't know if 500 players on a server was their ultimate goal. I wonder if it was more. But outside of that, a lot of things that he has said, and I think he also explained them so someone like myself can explain these issues. But we'll see. I don't know. No, Zeus, he's literally not. So that's so unfounded. Benoit rapidly going from the savior to another yapper that talks a lot when nothing happens. The last time he came on camera, he talked about RMQ, and then RMQ became significantly less of an issue, and a lot of the issues that we were experiencing in the server meshing tests were fixed. And we are now playing server meshing, and we are now playing 4.0 with a lot of good experiences that are happening, along with a ton of bad ones that actually came true. So yeah, what you're saying isn't genuine at all and not fair. What I do feel is that this is a waste of time, and I would rather him take 2 hours on a Wednesday or Thursday, whenever they're doing this, to fix the game. I'm at the point where I don't want to hear, I don't want to read a Spectrum post. I don't want to hear from a developer. I want the doors to shut, the heads to go down, and the work to happen, and a release to be ready, and then start talking. No Man's Sky's, it's No Man's Sky time. At this point, you have your tech out the door, server meshing is there, it's No Man's Sky time. That's sort of what I'm starting to feel. I like, as a content creator, I don't even care if I have nothing to cover. I'd rather have a game to cover. But apparently I'm supposed to look at the comments for the ISC. No, you can't read, Abe. We'll delve deeper into this topic in the next week's Star Citizen Live. So, yeah. But that is that's where we're at. I do feel that all this talk about the Rich Tyrer era felt like bullshit for a really long time with the release of 4.0 and so on and so on and so on. Maybe there's some inklings of this actually happening. They have never, ever, ever, ever stopped a free fly. But it is such a tiny, tiny thing in the sea of problems that it's hard to, clap my hands and praise something for this when literally this week you made monumental blunders and problems and contradicting everything you just said with the release of 4.0.1 to the live servers, with a ship, with an event, and so on. It just doesn't make sense. I'm trying to make sense of this post, and the only thing I can say is that maybe some shifts are happening internally, however small they are, but a lot more needs to happen. And I'll just leave it there. They want money. I don't think any of this has anything to do with money. If they wanted money, the free fly would continue. If they wanted money, the free fly would continue. There's no denying that free flies are a huge funding thing for them. So if they wanted money, that's the free fly would happen way more than the sale of the Fortune. So, but I think that they're recognizing the state of the game actually matters. So I'm not sure. Oh, the ship post patch release? Yeah, but they released a ship that nobody wants. That's not good, I don't think. I don't think that ship sold well. So I don't know, but we'll have to look at the funding watchers. But I struggle with this one, man. Xylo always tries to come in and put fires out, but he usually just comes with a giant jar of lighter fluid and adds more fuel to the fire. I feel like he just blew on the fire a little bit and stoked it this time, but yeah, I don't know. Funding strong for January. All right, well, maybe it did well, but I don't know, man. I don't know about this one. Words don't matter. Actions do. And if we look back to Tuesday, your actions are shit. If we look to today, that's one good action for 5 bad ones. We need to even out the numbers. We're -4 right now. If we get to 0 or +1, then I think you'll start to see the community changing their tune a little bit. But until then, the community is going to be going hard on you most likely, and deserved so. Deserved. Yeah. They're trying to earn our trust back, but the only way that happens is with bug fixes, not words, from Scarlett in chat, and that's a good place to stop this. So you're 100% right. Actually fix the game.